I've been in this industry for 45 years. 45 years. I've watched them come. I've watched them go. I've learned compensation plans. I've been involved in them enough so that I make sure that I've really gotten myself saturated, and I have success stories in companies of the things that I have done. So just a little bit of why this is so exciting for me on a binary. We generated, you write the numbers down. I didn't take to do this on the website, so I'm letting you know. We put in a binary program 186,000 people in a binary, generating we checks for everybody in as little as 18 months. We did it with a core group, and there are different ways to grow binaries, and there's different things that companies do to either make them a traditional binary or what they call hybrid. And I'm going to help give you all of those words, so when you hear them, you'll understand what those definitions mean today, okay? And so we've been in many companies and grown binaries. We laughed all the way to the bank. Binaries do make money, but I'm going to state this several times. Binaries also make corporations wealthy, because when there's the breakage as you see today, and you'll understand, the companies are there, what they do is they count on some of that happening. So because I took a core team of 27 people, and we ended up generating the most amazing amounts of money, and in that company, not one of our core team was making less than $62,000 a month. Okay, that I'm proud to tell you. Those are we checks. So not to impress you, but impress upon you that I like building as a we. I didn't care to be the one main person making huge money. It was more fun to bring a team of people making lots of money. So we had people making up to like 117,000. We had people doing 123,000. We had people doing 126,000. One of my friends was doing 132. My other friend was doing 143. And our friend who was a pastor in Moreno Valley was doing $178,000 a month. Okay, so these are monthly checks, so you can see why those are life-changing checks. And when you have money coming in like that, you can do a lot of fun things for people, and you can change your world and the world around you. My plans for the future, I've been looking for a company, looking to align with, this time more of a woman's team. So not that men are not excluded, it's just ladies, we're wired differently than men. So I want to take a group of people again, and I think I have one last good hoorah in me in my mid-60s here, that we could do something that would be life-changing and legacy planting, so that people would have something to leave behind and something to finish off the rest of their days while they're here on earth. Okay, so that's my goal, and aligning with Michelle and Gina and a lot of the ladies that are here on the call, aligning with you guys, I've had such a blast, because I'm expanding my own circle of friends. And I love this. I only wish we all lived in the same state so we could all celebrate closer together. I do. But the power of what we have today with Zoom and seeing each other and the tools that are available, you can do a business today on not just a shoestring budget, but a floss string budget if you have to. So we use all of the most valuable tools we can get for free as we put our money into the priorities of your companies to make sure those companies will sustain you. Then you have additional income to upgrade your tools to tools that you need to be able to pay for. So that's what a binary can do. So I'm going to show you what a binary looks like in a perfect world. So let's use some terminologies that you'll understand. Binary is a 2, means right and a left. So everything in a binary, first of all, starts with you. So I like to say, if you were drawing circles, and we know that there was a company that was started with an A and ended in a way that just to draw circles on a board. So I think this is so fun. Mine is called kind of the happy person, happy man compensation plan, if you will. I start my first piece of paper with a circle at the top, and I put a little U shape, like the letter U, for like a mouth, and then say, let's give you 2 eyes and call this U. And that's how my compensation plan, when I'm drawing it for people to understand. When it starts with you, remember everyone has a right and a left. And when you bring people into this business, the way it works, you have to be qualified in a binary. You must be a personal sponsor of a right side and a left side for you to get paid. So you have to know that's how all binaries work. So you got to bring in a right and a left, or a left and a right, however we're looking at this. And how I want you to understand, we're going to be on the same page today, because when we talk about it, you could call me up and say, Karlyn, I have somebody I need to place, and we're going to talk, how do you know where you're, I don't need names of people, so let's have fun learning numbers. There's no number at the top because you're the main person. So this first one is a 1 on the left, and the second one is a 2. And what happens is 1 enrolls their 2, that means they have a 3 and a 4 under them. And 2 enrolls their 2, which that gives them a 5 and a 6. So it won't matter what, you see, you can have a sheet of paper with a bunch of numbers going straight down. And if you fill in the names, that means you're seeing how your binary fills. So this is in a perfect world where everybody went out and everybody gets 2. Got it? Okay, so they're all qualified for paychecks. So here's what the next piece starts to look like. 7 and 8, then we have 9 and 10. And we have 11 and 12, and it goes all the way to 14. Now listen, here is where I want you to also understand, this is something called, now we know that everybody has to have 2. This is your first level. This is your front line. This is your second level in your binary tree. This is your third level. So you see across this, you have 7 to 14 on level 3. So you'll hear terminologies like, I have an open space on my third level in position 10. Now, does that make sense that we're all talking the same language? Okay, so when I see some of the nodding of the head, it's all making sense so far. Look what happens in a perfect world. Let's go. Come on, come with me. Look at this. Everybody's getting there too. If you understand this, I can't continue to draw forever, but I can have a little bit of fun. Right here, how many people, just take note because I'm going to ask you at the end, look what we have. We have 62 people in your binary. Then you've got a full binary on a perfect world, and we haven't even counted you because you're 63 technically. So look at how the numbers grow here, and this is what happens. So I always like to say, how many people did it take on this example? Write this down in your paper that took on a traditional binary in a perfect world of everybody getting 2. We went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels in depth, and we were able to bring in a total of 62 people and fill the holes. Okay? Filling the holes with qualified people. This to me is the most beautiful binary in the world, and I like to show you how we can make a binary actually happen and make this a reality. All right, let's go to the next one. Because to achieve greater potential in any binary, to me, what I like you to say is you need to think about money. You need to think with heart over money. With heart over greed. It's not about, to me, the money. The money will follow if you use your heart and you move in a heart fashion. And the way that works is sometimes paying it forward and serving others. The money will follow. It has to when you're doing the activities correctly. All right. So now we talked about this. Look at this. This is everything on this side is your left. That's that line straight down to show you. This is the left side of your binary tree. This is all the right side of your tree. So a lot of people seem to think, okay, so this would be, I've had people think that this is their left because it's an inside leg. You have to understand everything from you, just drive it straight down. Everything on the right starts becoming the right side, and everything on the left becomes the left. Okay. Now, there are companies who've said to you, they either have something called placeholders or they have something called the tri-pack. That has been very common. Tri meaning 3. This means that if that's the case, here's how it is. And this is how people learned how to work smarter and not harder in building a binary. It starts with you. And if you look at how you build, this would be considered right here. This triangle is called a tri-pack. So if you owned all 3 centers, you see how you're owning the top center is you. You're owning 100% of your own business there, and you own 50% of the person's business in number 1, and you own 50% over here. But technically, you also own 100% on the left and 100% on the right. Is that making sense? Okay. Come on, keep moving with me. There's all these things popping up. Okay, so now you own a tri-pack. And when you've got, if you can later save this position, this is where a placeholder comes in. You can actually put a person number 1 in there, and they also would have a placeholders if they're working this program. So it just depends how a company is allowing you to do it. Are they letting you build with tri-packs? Are they starting you with what's called open positions? Are they putting them in? And I need you to hear this clearly. If a company can put open positions in and remove open positions or placeholders, please understand they can put positions in anywhere through the matrix they want at any time. You have to know that. And massaging matrices is not fun when people do that, because you could have people that are workhorses and then somebody comes in and puts a placeholder in there and literally gets all that side built for them. So it just depends what's going on and as to where they want to put them. My friend and I know of a company that came in, we were talking, and he said, we both know of this company, and the company itself cannot be in the top of the matrix, but they did come in and put placeholder income centers, 50 of them in the company. So they later built lots of multiple checks, okay? So in a perfect world, you'd want to build outside left, you'd want to build the outside right, and this is how you would start your tri-packs. But I need you to see how this begins to work when you're putting it together and we're doing tri-packs. Here's the question. Look at how this begins to look, and this is the question for you. If you did the math quickly, could you figure out how many people, now we still filled 62 positions, but how many people did it take to do that here? Every triangle is one person. So look at how many people in this illustration that less than it took to get the same number. Are you with me what I'm saying? That's how we used to build binaries on the tri-pack side. Companies also don't allow you the ability, oh, here was the illustrations. And what I've shown you, I showed you how to fill 62 positions with simply, you could have 129 positions with 42 people, 43 with you included. You could double that number or triple it, depending on if you're doing it with tri-packs. You'd need only 85 people, that includes you, to have 258 centers. Do you see how building with tri-packs became so powerful? Because you could now sell a tri-pack to somebody. That would be in a perfect world if everybody bought a tri-pack though, okay? We're just talking illustrations. All right. So traditional binaries, everybody has to know you have a right side and a left side. I want to show you how today they are doing things today in binaries to stop people from building the way I just showed you. The first way is my favorite. It runs your binary like a matrix. That's where you get to fill every hole. The other way is the tri-pack, and that's the ideal way if you could build smarter, not harder. The rule today is you can't own a tri-pack, but yet there are companies that allow you to own only up to 3 centers. And those 3 centers normally are where you put an LLC in. That's the top center. You can sponsor yourself or your spouse or your child on the other side, and you could actually have a legacy of income coming through your whole entire, so you could own all 3 positions. You may even hear it said, well, if you go to Sam's Club, you only have 1 membership. So really, if you do a binary properly, you really only need 1 good income center if you're putting out the work, because you don't want to work 3 times harder. So it's smart to have a placeholder where you can bring in a leader on the right and a leader on the left. Then you're working with those leaders to make it happen. Now, a binary tree also, what they do today is they're going to not do filling the holes. Most binaries are going to build their trees on the outside. And so what begins to happen is companies can start a binary giving you the opportunity to place your people. You cannot place your people on the inside. You can only build down the legs like this. So you see you're building down the generations. Can you see, I like to use this term, excuse me if it's offensive, but your binary legs, they call one a power leg because you're getting everybody's doing that on the power side, or your upline is putting down. So maybe you have a runaway right leg. I like to say the binary building this way goes to hell and back, because this is just going straight down 100, 300, 500 levels. Ooh, what does this say? This meeting has about limited minutes. Okay. Oh, well, can't we come back into the meeting if we have to? All right. Okay, so now look at this. If you're building your business, you're putting people on the left or the right. You get to decide. You want to set toggle switches if a company allows you to do that. your toggle switch is to toggle to the left or to choose to toggle to the right. So some people have a runaway right leg. They need the volume on the other side because it's their pay volume. And so what you want to do on that is you want to be able to hopefully have a smart toggle switch, or what they would say the weak side, and it toggles right and then left and then right and then left, and it does the work for you, so you never are losing and you're getting to pay. Can you see the difference in this binary A and this binary here? Which one has a greater potential to have a solid base and a solid income? Is that making sense? The two places I just showed you? Okay, achieving greater potential. Again, I would like to say the same thing. Please use your heart when it comes to serving. It's so amazing. Now, you'll hear terms like this. They pay out by, you generate the income by bringing in the bodies, which is the people. They call it the points or the volume or a cycle. You'll hear that. That is how you generate a payout check. So some companies say, let's say you had a right leg that had 150 points. Let's say the left leg has 500 points. So we now know your left leg is going to be your power leg, right? That's where everything's happening. So you normally are building on the weaker side of your business so you can continue to generate as many points over there and max out. They also pay either daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So you have to know there's companies that allow you to cycle every day or generate. So let's say on Tuesday, you cycled 50 points and it takes 50 points right, 50 points left to get a check. So you may have done that on Tuesday, you may have done that on Wednesday, you do it again, and maybe you do it on Friday and they pay out on Saturday. So you've generated 150 points and you've washed those points out. And you now have to minus 150 points from your weak side that they're going to pay you to taking out off of that 500 points. So that's going to leave you what? You can do the math. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so 50 points is what this one would take to generate checks. And so that 50 points triggers a so-called cycle. So you cycled 3 times and they pay weekly. That might happen. If they pay daily, then every day you can cycle unlimited times. I've never heard of companies that tell you you can cycle up to $1 million a day, because that's kind of crazy. It's almost way pie in the sky, unheard of. So it's more likely to say you should be able to cycle as unlimited times on a daily basis. And when do they pay? Do they pay it daily or are they going to pay it weekly? So you'll just watch your numbers every time it happens, and it keeps count. There's other companies that say they don't generate a check until you hit 250. So if you hit 250 points on the left side, they're going to take that 250 points out of the right side. Excuse me, you see what I'm saying here? They're taking the points away. I put it on the wrong side. They're taking the 250 out of the 500, and that leaves you a balance of 250. So you have 250 left, so now you got to start working on the right leg to generate over here. You'd have to generate again. So this one would be like 250 generates a cycled check. So they're going to pay on a weekly basis, and they're going to say, oh, wow, you cycled 3 times this week. And so that's how they're going to generate your monies. Cute. Okay, Q&A. This is your time to ask questions. I hope I pretty much covered. Oh, there we go. Let me go back. I tried to do this in a 40-minute timeline. Okay, so if you have questions or you're not clear on certain things, this is a good time to ask. And by the way, your points, a lot of times there's companies that say your points will hold as long as you pay your monthly fee. Your points do not flush. In other words, they don't take away your points. You want to watch that when companies get to a place where you lose points and flush points. That's kind of their breakage a little bit. All right.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm if we get cut off that everybody can just log back in to the same Zoom link, okay?
Yeah, correct.
So just log back in.
Okay.
And can you explain what breakage is?
Yeah, they call, okay, breakage for a company is depending on how they pay and what they do. If they flush points, that's a form of breakage. Another way of breakage is you've got people coming down, and the best illustration on that one is here. You've got people coming down all the way down here. Look, they're coming down this side. And what happens here, Michelle, is there's nobody getting their other side. If they don't have their other side, that's a check the company doesn't have to pay. So that's additional money that stays in there, right? Because if everyone here is qualified, the company's going to have to pay out more money and keep less. If this is happening, there's a lot of people that are not getting people. And the thing I don't like about the left and the right for me on any binary is this is really difficult because not everybody gets paid. So just like I said, your binary explodes and goes way down deep. And that's when I said it goes to hell and back, because as soon as it goes real deep and you're seeing money cycling because you're at the top, all of a sudden, these guys down here are not making money. So what do you think they do? They cancel their auto ship. They're not making money, so they're not wanting to put money out. Over here, if everyone was qualified with everybody getting 2, well, they're excited. And to make this binary happen for me, what we did is I chose, in the way we did it to do the 186,000 people, is we said, we'll put 2 people in your matrix and we'll qualify you by putting it. We can't go in my back office and sign up. Some companies allow you to pick and choose. So you're the enroller, and so you're going to get your bonus that they call it a fast start cash. That's when they call it a hybrid. When they start putting ways to get paid, makes it a hybrid for you. So whenever there's more than just one way to get paid, they list it as a hybrid, and the more ways they can show you how you can make money. So in my back office, the old-fashioned binary, you used to just be able to go in here, and I could come in here and say, I'm going to give this person the number 5, and I get to check, yes, they're the enroller, and yes, this is going to be placed underneath them. So what we did is we used every person's social one time, everybody's link 2 times, one to gift them one, or they brought their own. So we gave people 24 hours. You got 24 hours to go get your people, because if we see holes in the binary, those of us who are at the top, the core team, the recruiters, we went after giving the people away. So if there's a fast start bonus, there's ways to do that. You can make upfront verbal contracts. I'll tell you what, I noticed you don't have 2 people, you're not qualified to get a check, but I'll put your 2 people in, but I want my fast start cash. Is that fair enough? So you're going to give them the qualification numbers. They're going to pass up the fast start cash. That's a personal arrangement between you and who you're giving your people to. This is how you bypass a company that won't let you sponsor in place. There are companies that are actually not going to ever let you put people on the inside. They're only going to do that. So the only way you can do this is to come down to person number 3 and say to them, I want you to know that right here, person number 3, I'm talking to you. I'm going to gift you I noticed you have one on the outside that we've got, or that was yours. I'm going to gift you your inside one. Would you give me the fast start cash? They say yes. However, you can do the pay it forward thing. I'll give you 2 people if when you're bringing your 2 people in, you promise to give them to somebody else to help your team. So they're still staying in their group. They're staying anywhere in there. Put your hands out, stretch like you're going to give a hug. Everything that's within that huggable range, that's your downline organization. That is what you and who you help. You don't help anything outside or over to the other side unless you're a member or part of a core team that is already aligned at the top, that is going to help fill those numbers and fill those holes. So that's the only way this was so powerful. Our genealogy said, you went down and every name went 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It was 6 inches thick, and it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. You got to page like 4 or 5, and it went 3 because it was my error. I grabbed the wrong mic. So that's what I'm just telling you. And when you're tracking your own binary, if you own these pieces here, if you had this person controls everything that goes here, and this person, that means you need 4 people. Don't laugh when I say this. 4 colors. This might be the blue team. This might be the red team. This might be the green team. This might be the yellow team. And the bottom line is you're keeping track of how many open spaces in the yellow group, how many spaces are in the blue group. And so you're kind of staying balanced by doing that. So you see why a core team is powerful? If I had a core team, my core team is 6 people, right? It's these 4 and these 2 plus me. So it's a 7-pack. That's what I used to love to build. So that we built these 7-packs, and we made other people 7-pack leaders as well. Can you imagine how you can fill your matrix when you're doing 7s and 7s and 7s? It's great. So that's what begins to happen in your binary. So you can choose how to build a binary anyway. A company may set it down so that you can't give away or won't give away. And by that I mean they use the fear of loss. They change it so that you won't help the people to have their legs on the inside. That's the fear of loss, because, oh, why would you want to give away $40? Oh, every time you do that, you'll give away $40. That's what I call the greed factor. I prefer to say, pay it forward. Either share the $40 and let them have it, Or tell them, if you don't bring in your 2, you owe me the $40. Then you put it back into the kitty so you can help somebody else or help yourself later. So I like to keep money moving. When money's moving, people are growing. When people are growing, businesses are flowing. When they're flowing, companies are paying out more paychecks. And binaries, I want to stress, can't stress it enough, a binary compensation plan makes corporations wealthy. So it's more smart to work for the people in doing this kind of a program. Is that making sense?
Okay, Karlyn, this is Gina.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Okay.
Because this is something that's rather new to me. So I'm going to ask a hypothetical question. No company mentioned, just a hypothetical question.
Okay.
Okay. Because I would suspect it's going to be the same no matter what. Let's use, for example, you said on the example B, we would only ever place on the outside.
Correct.
Okay. So let's say that I'm in a company who decides to do the binary compensation plan. And the person, my sponsor, is going to put more than just me in the business.
Correct.
I'm going in the business, so I'm bound to, let's say I'm that sponsor's number 1.
Correct.
Okay, then that sponsor's going to put someone in the number 2, right?
That's correct.
Now, I want to start building, so when I start I want to put people in, but then my sponsor still has people to put in, right?
Right, so we're going to say this part here, instead of it being you, this is going to be your sponsor. And we'll say you're number 1, correct?
Right, exactly.
And so right now, everything your sponsor puts in, he's only going to build to your outside left, never on your that's called your inside leg over here. That's just the inside. He'll never put anybody on the inside. That's your job.
Okay.
So, if you took
the
exact tree, Gina, and take you and move you right there, now you'll see what your business looks like. You can only put people right and left. This person has the same setup. It would be like taking and photocopying it, pasting it, photocopying and pasting it. It would eventually begin to look like this, but that's in a perfect world, but not everybody's going to have what they need to sponsor. So what is your question regarding that?
Okay, so let's say I have 10 people who want to come into the business, just for giggles and grins.
Okay.
All 10 of them will never be direct to me. I'll have 2 direct to me, and then the other 8 will be down a level or 2.
They're always direct to you if you're the personal sponsor. If you start them in on, if they use your link of number 1, everyone that comes in, even if I've put, let's say it was me at the top and I put 3 people underneath you, and the next person you brought in 1 right, 1 left. Let's say the first person you brought in is number 15, and then the next one you bring in is going to be your number 2. Do you see that? But they're still your personal. The computer knows that that's your personal. So they're still going to, this is where a hybrid comes in. They're going to pay you that fast start bonus on a company is going to pay you because you sponsored, even though they fell under somebody else.
Okay.
But a traditional binary, that means the volume should be used for every person under you. In other words, that was 50 points, let's say, that goes in, 50 more points goes in, 50 points goes in. Everybody gets to get that accumulation points. It adds up to every person. So they have a number on their left and a number on their right.
So if I put in the number 15 and I'm number
1,
okay? And I put in the number 15, and then maybe I put in the number 10, because that would be my world right there, right? Yes. I did not put in 3, 4, 7, 8, 9.
Doesn't matter.
Right. So the person who put those in is going to get paid off of that volume.
No, they're going to get paid the fast start bonus, and they still will reap the volume. But because you're number 1, that volume fell under you. So you get volume from 3, 7, 15, all straight down.
Okay.
And you're also going to build your volume on the other side. So go ahead. We're getting to your question. I know. Go ahead.
Okay. So on 3, so I'm 1. So 3, 7, and 15 could potentially be from
your upline or their upline. It won't matter.
And the same with the 4, the 10, and the 22. could potentially be
which
from,
is actually
no, that's mine because I'm in. I'm sorry.
That's right. That's going to be your
Yeah,
number
sorry,
2,
yeah.
your number 6. All of those numbers are going to be from you on the other side. What you see on the right side of your sponsor, those numbers actually come over to you, your side. You have your own 2, 6, whatever. You have all those numbers.
So it's up to me and my team to build 4, 8, 9, 10, 16 through 24, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So all my sponsor will ever have the opportunity to build on the left side is just that truly outside left side.
That's right. And that leg, as long as you're everyone and above him, that's going to happen, and above her, that's going to happen, and above them, it's all going to run the same way. Everybody's building. That is now called a power leg. So Gina, because we're talking about you coming in as number 1 on the left side, you're coming in on the left. So now I'm going to tell you guys the trick for this. The tip that I gave every person is when you bring somebody in on the left, you ask them to put 2 people to the outside power leg and begin building on their inside leg. Now you just knew that a binary was for 2 people, right? So we went 1 right, 1 left, but I just told you to have them throw 2 in, 2 to the outside leg, and then start building on their inside leg. So if you came in and you're person number 1, and I'm the you right there, I say, okay, you came in on my power side on the left. Gina, bring in 2 people to your outside left. So you're paying the runaway leg. You're giving a gift of 2 to the outside leg. Now, Gina, never put anybody else over there. Everything goes from number 4, 10. It all starts there. You're always going to build everything there. That, my friend, is how you create a runaway power leg on your inside, which they call the weak leg. So now you've brought everybody in on the right. So what do you tell them? To get that power leg rolling fast, you say, listen, I put you in on the right side. That's the power side. Now it is, even though it's your weak side, it is now going to be their power leg. So everyone needs to help that power leg generate just like the other one. So you say, I need you to throw 2 people to the right. And after that, just build on your inside leg. Now everyone is generating. That means you're number 1. That means your person number 3 is going to generate a power leg. So 7 and 8 become 2 power legs, and everything from 4 becomes a power leg on 10 and 9. You now have 4 runaway power legs, more of a potential to fill holes and go down and help people. So instead of just having 2 outside arm legs, you now have generated 2 outside legs and 2 feet. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You have a 4 power legs in your team. That is a smart way to build your binary, because it doesn't matter who comes down inside or outside, because inside legs and outside legs, it doesn't matter. It's always, if it's in the inside, number 5's power side is where? His outside left. 11, see it there?
Mm-hmm. 11, 23.
Yep, got it. So
16.
that's number 5's power leg. Then you come on the other side, and then you go, okay, number 6's power leg is always to the right, so their weak leg is inside. But number 13's power leg, we need to generate to the outside left. So every time somebody comes inside or outside, they still need to be told, you're on the inside, or you're on the outside, or you're on the power leg. It's on that side, so only throw 2 in. So you get everybody generating. And there's the power of having 6 leaders at the top of your business, because those leaders on the same page can help you to have that happen.
Okay, so it sounds like regardless of who I bring in, let's say that I'm going to bring in Stefan and Felice.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe Felice has experience in binary, and maybe Stefan has no clue.
Right.
It doesn't really matter, because no matter where I put them, I tell them, I'm putting you on the power side. Here's what I need you to do. Because we're going to be building power side on each side.
That's right. That's correct.
Okay, so if someone has experience in the binary, they say, oh no, I want to be on your left side. No, really, my right side is my power leg. That's where you want to be.
Okay, so if you were over here, if you talk to a builder, I'm a builder. If you talk to a builder, I know darn well the smartest place for me to go in your business, if you're person number 1, for you, is to get me into your number 4 position.
Okay.
Because a person who knows how to build a binary, the one question they do ask is, am I on your weak leg or your power leg? They always want to know what side you're putting them on.
Okay.
You know, they have the power to build both inside and outside anyway. So, but most people who are builders and are familiar with binaries, Gina, will say, I want to be on the power side. I don't want to work that hard. I'm going to work on one leg only. But remember, you have all those power players on the outside left, my friend. You divide that down the middle, and remember, everything from 8 and over and everything is the left, and everything from 9, that's your right. So it's your right side is always going to be weaker because you got too many power players over there. So doesn't it make sense to generate 4 power playing teams that all know how to build the same way? So you would say to somebody like me, I'm a recruiter and I'm working to build on this is my building leg. You are not going to build on your outside left. You're only going to throw 2 into the pot. You're paying back 1 because you need to be qualified, and then you're throwing 1 to accelerate that leg. And with everybody doing that, I tell you, a little bit, everybody does, it comes out to be a lot. All right?
Okay.
So now let's say you got Stefan. Let's say Stefan is a good friend of yours and you put him on your number 3 position, or even you brought him into number 10 position. He really doesn't know how to build, and he really has never done this before. If you are somebody who is an upline leader and knows how to recruit, then it's really to your benefit to come in and help him to get qualified for a check, so he will pay his money every month, and he will continue to be a contributing factor to your binary check. And why not help him get a generated check? Just help him get qualified so he can pay you your fast start cash, or you can say, listen, let's do this, but if you don't bring in, use it as your carrot bait. Stefan, if you don't bring at least 2 people or 3 people to the table within a week, then I need you to pay me the fast start cash. So there's a loss if he doesn't do. So get him to work. It's worth you paying for those recruits to come to the table. That's how you tap root into your businesses to find out who you're going to work with. You work with the willing and the ones that want it and the ones that will rise to the top. That's where then Stefan will win as well, and you win too. And you continue not to have to keep replacing. You've heard it said before, it's easier to go give birth than it is to raise the dead. Well, let's not let them go dead in the first place. You already birthed them. So let's give them all the nutrients they need to stay right there in the business.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Did that answer all your questions?
That answered my question. It looks like there's one in the chat from Jane. So Susan, I don't know that we have this answer yet, but Jane has a question that I think you might be able to answer.
Okay, you want to give it to me, or you want Jane to do it?
Why don't you let Jane, that way in case she needs to expound on it.
Clarify it. Okay.
Oh, it was just from when you were going through like the tri-pack, and you were saying like beware, like they can come in like on your tri-pack. So whoever you put in there, like you're building teams in a sense, but somebody can come in and take that away from you.
Well, normally on a tri-pack, when you buy 3 positions, there are companies back in the day that said you bought 3 positions and you had to pay, let's say every position was $100. That means you had to pay $100, $100, $100, and every month you had to pay $300 to keep them active. There are other companies that later got smart and said, okay, you can buy a tri-pack, buy all 300, pay $300 for the positions, but your position 1 and 2 is not active until you have got money generating off of number 1. So you can activate it at any time. Once you put 2 people in, it went active. So to generate checks. So that was really cool because you never lost your so-called tri-pack / placeholders as companies do. Today, they put them in there and they give you an opportunity now for a window. They don't want you to own them. Can't be done by your own household or anyone in your household. You can't, in other words, have a vested interest in that. It can be given or gifted to a friend or another networker, but it can't be where you have an ownership of it. That's the thing about when people give you placeholding pieces. So now, in a company that says we're going to give you placeholders, and those placeholders might only be good for 30, 60, or 90 days, that means that they can remove them, compress the matrix, take it out. In other words, the software has been written that they can massage the matrix. So you can't ever I can't take Gina and move her. They have massaged it like I can take Gina and move her over to number 6 position. You can never move a binary person, but you can sandwich people between a binary builder. So just as quickly as they removed your 2, don't be fooled to think it can't be given back or put somebody else there. And I sometimes I don't like that, because I sometimes say that means if you're a builder, you're the meat they're using to get that other person, by saying, I got all these people working, these are workhorses here, this will be already be built for you, all you have to do is come in and do this. So they're using you as the meat, and it's not fair.
Of course.
Huh?
I was saying, of course.
Yeah. If you've been in longer than those people, it kind of sucks that somebody can jump above you. And the way I say it is, if you and I have a relationship and we're working together, and you come into my binary, but all of a sudden later I have a way, if I already have a tri-pack and I own 1, 2, and 3, you can't do anything about it. But if I bring you in as if I brought you in as person 1 and then sandwiched you down to level 3, you're going down 1. I'm going to push you down. You're going to become number 3, because I'm going to put somebody else I just met that could be a stronger builder. That's not good on relationship for you and me. That's not building a strong cord of relationship or trust. So you have to just be wise as a serpent and innocent as a dove. You have to just know the potential to put something in or take something out is written in the software. And what they do with it, we never can know. That you won't ever notice it, because you only see from you and down. You don't see your support upline.
So it depends on how your company is going to do this binary.
Correct. How they structured their software plan. Correct.
Okay, so this is all computer generated. Like, I don't have to sit, like if I
Right.
bring a business partner, I'm not actually looking and saying,
Oh,
okay,
she brought in 5 and I brought in 10. You don't have to do any of that. It's all computer generated. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So let's take a look at something. You brought up a good point. Let's say we have a tri-pack. Let's say I love partnershipping. So what I've done before is we took the top position before, and we've set it up as an income center for every one of the core team that I worked with. So what happened is I had to take position 1. I put Stefan in position 2. Then we can combine that check, and we can actually do some special stuff for our core team. And then I put my core leaders was position 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, to see how I did that. So now the entire core team, my core team used to say, we don't care who you are, if you're way on the right or right on the left, we're going to keep our top position as balanced as possible, because we all owned it. Everybody got commit. We did that as a split. So do you see how we built so quickly and everybody wanted to win? But look, everybody also had their own income center. So they were making their own check for their income, but they were getting the help and the force. I said this to somebody the other day. It's amazing, 1 horse, what it can pull. But when you find out what 2 horses can pull, that'll blow your mind. So what happens when you start combining and tripling and quadrupling the energy? To me, 10x has always been used way too out of line, but you put a few people in and you got a 10x thing happening where the whole entire group is winning. And it's just, we're doing this for us and for them. So we're serving the team and making sure everybody gets what they need so that we can get what we need. For example, the company I mentioned, there was a company that has a check that allows you $250 each to cycle, $250 a day, or up to $500. And that company has a binary plan that's unbelievable, because you never hurt anybody giving somebody 2. If they want to generate $1,000 check next time, if they want to move that up, they have to bring in 1 more to the right, 1 more to the left. So they have to have what? 3 and 3. Got it? That now all of a sudden opens them up that they can cycle a check up to $1,000 on that position. So if they want to go higher and go to 2,500, they have to have 4 on the right and 4 on the left. So we don't give everybody all those numbers. We say, we're just going to give you 2, so you're qualified. So if they're spending, let's say let's just say they're spending $100 a month, and they get a check for a minimum of $250 to $500 a week, I got their auto ship paid. I know that they're staying in that binary. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You really have to just evaluate what's the payout, what's the investment. And if you can help people to be in the black in their binaries, oh my gosh, they're always there for you.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Generate a check. Normally that's the way it works, but they always can reactivate and begin building again. And just so you know, on a company that does that, if you come in later and that position is there on number 10 and they reactivated that position, the nice thing about that is all of the time that they're inactive, their volume has flushed. Does that make sense? So there's nothing there. They come in with literally 0 points again. But the next month they've activated, all of the activation, everybody paying their monthly fee starts accumulating their points again. So they should not ever lose those points. Even if they come in later, they've lost the initial part, but they should never lose the points, because if I come in and I'm number 10 and then I go inactive and then I decide to reactivate, I know that when I go inactive, I lose my points. I've flushed, I'm 0 right, 0 left. But once I activate from my activation date on, everybody who pays their auto ship or activate as active, those will accumulate points on my right and my left. And I may not have a big thing happen that month, but the next month I should have a team of points happening.
Okay, what happened, well, this is Roddy, what happens if number 4 quits or stops and drops out? What happens to the volume for 9 and 10? Do you lose that?
No, no, it's just kind of like saying, these are houses. Let's just pretend they just went on vacation. They shut their lights off and they left, but the whole entire energy still continues to run on that whole housing track. It's all your points. You never lose your points.
So you draw the points from 9 and 10. And so 4 is out of the picture, and you draw your points from 9 and 10 in your metric.
Yes, or the better way to say it so you're not so confused, you're drawing all of the points that are being given. Anything that falls on your left or your right are still your points. It's only the one who left decided to leave and go on vacation for a while or decides not to do it again.
So
And that's why I was saying to you, okay, another idea to look at is this. Let's say the person you know is number 10 was a good friend of yours. And let's say number 10 no longer wants to work and he just wants the heck out of it. You could come into another person like myself and say, Karlyn, I have a friend of mine. It's 2 levels down, but he's on the outside of my outside right leg, and he's willing to give you that position. So simply transferring over from the corporate standpoint, his name to my name, I now can be the new owner of that house. Do you understand? I'm the renter. I come in and either work it with him as a renter and help, or I come in and own it. I become the owner because I'm paying the auto ship.
So you can replace the person.
Yes, sir. You can replace the person. As a matter of fact, these are those inside secrets that I tell you. If I accidentally, when you accidentally sponsor somebody and put them in the wrong place, let's say you wanted to put somebody in position number 10, and you blew it, you ended up sticking them in position number 9. First of all, you can't do it that way. Hold on. Let's say let's put you at the top for a minute. Okay. And you're going to if you do the sponsorship, let's say you needed to put them on the right side. If you put them on the right and they fall into position 14 and person number 6 says, I don't think I want to do this, you can swap those 2 names, go in their back office and swap the 2 names and change them so that position 6 goes down to 14 and 14 goes to 6. Now what do? Now we come back and we sell position 14 to somebody else. So you can change it from the back office. Yes, there is a way, but you cannot say, oh, I need the company to move that. They won't do it. You have to know the inside secrets, get all the information. I do want to tell you guys this because I don't know how many more questions we have. I want to make sure I get this to you guys. I want to, first of all, thank you for allowing me to teach, coach, and train you on the binary compensation plan today. I want you to know I love being a part of your life and being part of helping you in your success journey. Any way I can assist you, as I just explained to Susan's husband, I'm more than willing to have private conversations or consultations where we can talk. And free gifts are important. Getting people to listen to your presentations, free goodies are important. And you may already have this one from me. If you don't, my free gift to you today is go to Voxer.com, and I'd love to get a free voice message from you. Allow them to have access to your, your address book, because if you have friends that already have it, you'll be able to see them. And the last thing is put a picture of your beautiful face on it, because it's a business thing. When somebody's going to look for you, if they know you, they'll find you there and they'll see who you are, because there might be a lot of common names that are the same and they won't know who you are without a photograph. So, and I didn't put mine there. I didn't have time, but you can always text me and talk to me, or reach me through the compplantraining.now.site. And the front of it, I did put, you can email your questions or request a consultation there. You can also find me on callthebizpro.com. I want you to know I'm there to help. It doesn't matter what company you're with, or upline, downline, sideline, crossline. And the other free gift I'd love to give away, if you're not part of any of the trainings that we do, we have the ability to gift into you the core team group that we're working on for the future. If you're interested, let me know. In the meantime, I do free trainings, 10 to 15 minute trainings, or maybe 10 to 25 minute, but you get those free trainings are found on callthebizpro.com if you sign up and register as a free member. Now, if you're a paid member, you're already getting access to this, but as a free member, you do get notified about our trainings. You get notified after the call has been done. In case you couldn't attend, you get the call for 1 full week that you can share it with others or use it to grow yourself. So sometimes Monday night may not be convenient for you, but it's available to you. So I like to say that's a gift that keeps on giving. And if you gift things to people and they see that's value, they want to attach to you and be as close to you as possible, because it's those golden threads that you sew in your relationship that make a difference. And so share your gifts and share that stuff, especially if they're coming and seeing your presentation of your company for the first time. All right, anybody else? Any other questions, comments while we're still here? And
would you explain what Voxer is again? I'm not clear.
Absolutely. I don't make any money on it. It is a free tool. The paid version for Voxer, I think, is $24 or $29 a year. I'm going to tell you, I've been using it for almost 20 years. Please don't pay for it. Enjoy the free gift of it. It holds, it's a walkie-talkie. It makes our Android and our iPhones compatible. Because when you have a group, once you have a group where there's an Android in the group, if you're an iPhoner, you cannot any longer talk on your phone. But with Voxer, you can put together a team, a family group. You can do anything you want. You can have your immediate team, your worldwide team. You can do anything. This works all around the world. It bypasses your cellular minutes and makes your phone a very amazing walkie-talkie. So if I was going to meet, let's say we got Jane and Susan and Stefan, and let's say we're all going to meet at a restaurant, it also has a feature in there where we go, okay, we're waiting for Susan. She should be here any minute. But we see that you've left, and your Voxer shows you're moving, and then all of a sudden, we don't see you moving anymore. We're like, what the heck? So whether your car broke down or something happened, we know how to get an alert out and find you in the vicinity you're at. So it's a great safety mechanism, ladies, to watch after one another. It's great for husbands and wives. I'm not meaning tracking. I'm just saying it's great for husbands and wives. So if something happens, your husband can find you or your wife can find you. So give it to your family. It's a great gift. It's an awesome tool. And Susan, you can hit Voxer and say, Karlyn, I had a quick question about something about the binary. And you can talk up to 10 minutes, Susan, on it. And you can then let it go and talk another 10 minutes. So it's unlimited. It would hold our conversations in your back office for, excuse me, I think it's 30 days. That's the difference from the paid version. The paid version holds it for a whole year. So who needs that extra memory of all that stuff, right? But you can send files and pictures, and you can text, but it's the power of using your voice to strengthen your communication with one another. So we're trying to bring our senior citizen, so-called baby boomer world into the world of the millennials that don't like to talk. And this is a great way to kind of get them into that too. Remember, it's the free gifts and free tools that you have. So every time you tell somebody, I have a gift for you, and you give them one, give them two. Promise silver, deliver gold. They're going to just be excited about, they didn't have to do anything other than give you a little time to get it. And so it really works to help people get through your presentation. If you know anything about my PS3 training, you know that that's a key. So I want to thank Michelle. She requested this training. A lot of you wanted this training. she got it put together, and boy, she pushed me pretty darn hard. So I just want to thank her for that, and then for her being gracious enough to open it up to other people that were not in the same company that she was in, to allow it to be a generic training. That was very cool. And we can do a company specific next time if you want, and nobody else would be able to be part of that then. So I hope this call has helped. If you've liked what you've heard, or something has generated with you, or you've got more of an aha, I'd love a thumbs up. I'd love any personal testimony. If you want to go to callthebizpro.com and just say your own personal experience, I'd love to see some of your precious faces on there as a testimonial of your own personal experience of what we've done together. Stefan will look those over, of course, but I'd appreciate it. So I can be found there on Call the Biz Pro. And if you're interested more into learning what we're doing with a core group, let us know on that too.